So I'm going to be decluttering my bronzers and highlighters, which is this side of my collection. I think I still have like a few blush palettes maybe, but for the most part it's bronzers and highlighters. I just got done decluttering my blushes. I feel like I did a pretty good job. If you guys want to check it out, I will link it in the description box below, but I think I'll probably stick with the same goal for my bronzers and highlighters and try to declutter at least 15 of them, so let's jump into it. So the first bronzer that I have is the Balm Desert, which is a bronzer and blush duo, or it's kind of like an all-in-one product. I absolutely love this. I feel like I end up wearing this most days just because it's so easy to apply and it kind of acts like a bronzer and blush all in one, so it definitely saves time in your makeup routine. So I'm going to hang on to this one for sure. So I will start with this section right here. These are some of my highlighters. I got these containers, for those of you wondering, from TJ Maxx. They're from the kitchen section. They're really affordable and they have rubber on the bottom, so they're really great for products because they don't slip around. And then these baskets are just from Walmart. I need to get like 1 or 2 more of these to kind of fill up this section. Anyways, let me start with this one. This one is from Gorgeous Cosmetics. It is their Prism Powder Highlighter, and it's a really, really gorgeous shade. It is super subtle. I feel like this is more of maybe like a glowy setting powder than a highlighter, so since it's a little bit too light for even me and I have super, super pale skin, I think I'm going to pass this along to someone else just because I don't use it a whole lot. Next I have Betty Luminizer. This is actually kind of like a bronzy highlighter. I think I would probably consider it, a highlighter, but it's super, super bronzy. It is so beautiful. I think that this is going to be absolutely perfect for the spring and the summertime just because it's so gorgeous and glowy. So I'll definitely keep this one. And then Mary Luminizer is like one of my favorite highlighters of all time. The Balm makes really, really great pigmented face products. So that one is Mary Luminizer. So I think I'm going to hang on to this one too. This is a highlighter from MAC in the shade Rosé Olay. I really never wear this and I feel like it's a beautiful color, but the formula itself is a little bit dry for a highlighter for me, so I'm going to pass this one along to somebody else. I have 2 of my Becca Cosmetics highlighters. These are probably my absolute favorite highlighters. I think the formula is just amazing. They're extremely pigmented, and these highlighters are what really got me into liking highlighters. So this one is, of course, Champagne Pop, which is the one that Jaclyn Hill created. I love this. It's like the perfect gold. And then this one is Opal. I always have to be careful when I open this because I broke mine and it looks horrible. But the other Becca Cosmetics highlighters are on my wish list at Sephora.com, and I definitely want to pick them up eventually just because they're a great option if you are a highlighting fan. This is the Hard Candy Baked Bronzer in Tiki. They call it a bronzer, but it works perfectly as a highlighter. I feel like this is one of my first highlighters and I love it. I think that it looks so gorgeous on the skin, so I definitely recommend it and I will be hanging on to that. I'll probably be keeping the majority of my Too Faced bronzers. I just got them like last summer and I love them, so let me go through. This one is the Too Faced Bronzed and Poreless Pore Perfecting Bronzer. This is like my favorite bronzer of all time. I wear it every single day and I definitely won't be decluttering this one. This one is in Snow Bunny. I'm actually using it this month for like the very first time, so I haven't even formed an opinion on that, so I will definitely hang on to this one for a little while longer at least. This one is their Endless Summer 16-Hour Long Wearing Bronzer. I use this one a lot. I almost hit pan on it. The thing about this one, I mean, I definitely use the majority of it, but I feel like it's changed texture since I kind of got to the bottom and it's not like as smooth, so when I apply it, it kind of comes off patchy. So I think I'm actually going to declutter this one. This one is their Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer, which is perfect if you have a lighter skin tone. I should probably actually be using this one since I am so super pale during the winter time. I'm super pale all year round, but especially during the winter time. This one is their Sun Bunny Bronzer. This is a gorgeous kind of like highlighter bronzer all in one. So I'll definitely be keeping this one. And then the last one is the Medium Deep Matte Bronzer, which I love to use during the summertime. So I will be hanging on to the majority of my Too Faced bronzers. I just think they're great quality. This is the Becca Cosmetics Mineral Bronzing Powder in the shade Duende. It's a beautiful color. I love it during the spring and summer. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, so I will be keeping this. The Becca Cosmetics face products are just amazing quality. This one is a City Color Cosmetics Be Matte Bronzer in the shade Pecan Pie. I love these blushes, but the bronzers almost have, they're kind of like, they have like texture to them, so they don't apply as nicely, so I'm going to declutter this one. This one is the Model Co. Shimmer Bronzing Powder. I love this. It's a really, really gorgeous color. It has a little bit of like gold shimmer in it, but I think I'm going to hang on to this one for a little while longer. The last one I have is from Ofra Cosmetics. This is their Americano Bronzer. I actually used this for a really long time. It's a gorgeous color, but it has almost like gold glitter in it, and again, I'm just not really like a glittery fan. I'm definitely more of like a shimmery face product fan, but the glitters is a little bit too much for me, so I'm going to declutter this one. So the rest of my collection is a little bit messy. I just kind of ran out of storage containers and room, so I definitely need to declutter some of these products. This is actually a Nars palette. It kind of has like blushes, bronzers, and highlighters in it. I'm definitely going to hang on to this. I love this palette, and they're the only Nars blushes that I own, so I will definitely keep this one for a while. This is a Pixie bronzer in the shade Subtly Sun Touched. Again, this one almost has texture to it, which is weird. Like, I don't know why they make products like this, but I don't like how they apply, so I'm definitely going to declutter this one. I have this Too Faced blush and bronzer duo. This one's in the shade Carrie and Big, and I do have the Ross and Rachel one. I haven't used them a whole lot, so I'm going to hang on to them for a little while longer before I decide to declutter them. I've had this Lorac Wild for Tantalizer bronzing powder for the longest time. It's definitely time to declutter this because I can't even tell you guys how long I've had this for, so I definitely need to get rid of this. I have this Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. Since I already have a bunch of the other Too Faced bronzers, I am going to go ahead and declutter this one. I have the City Color Cosmetics Be Matte bronzer in the shade Caramel Drizzle, and again, I don't know what it is about these bronzers. They have like little hard pieces in them, and it doesn't go on that well, so I'm going to declutter this one. This is a Jane Cosmetics bronzing powder in the shade Empower. This is a really gorgeous bronzer, but it's a little bit too dark for me, so I will definitely pass this one along to someone else. So I have a City Color Cosmetics blush quad. I forgot to declutter some of my blushes in my last video, but I actually haven't opened this one. It's still sealed, and since I haven't even used it yet, I think I'm going to pass this one along to somebody else. This one is from Stila Cosmetics. It is their Get Cheeky Trio, which I got in a recent collection. It has a bronzer, blush, and highlighter in it. Since I just got this, I think I'll hang on to it a little while longer and just kind of use it more before I decide to declutter it. These are a bunch of my e.l.f. quads, so I have like one for everything. This is their illuminating quad, which has really beautiful colors in it. This is their contour palette. If you guys haven't tried these yet, I definitely recommend them. They're only $6. They're super pigmented and blendable. This is one of their blush quads, but they are really gorgeous. So I'm definitely going to keep these because I do get a lot of use out of these. I wear them really, really often, so I'm going to hang on to those. And then I have a few of these e.l.f. duos. They usually come with like a bronzer and a blush. So the first one is the Contouring Blush and Bronzing Cream. Since this is a cream product, and I'm definitely more of like a powder blush and bronzer person, I'm going to go ahead and pass this one along. This one's in the shade St. Lucia. It is their Contouring Blush and Bronzer. It has some shimmer in it, but I really love these, so I will hang on to these. And then the last one is their Contouring Blush and Bronzer Quad in Fiji, which is like a matte blush and bronzer. These are so gorgeous, and I will definitely keep these as well. So this is from the brand Cara. It is I think it's like a liquid illuminator. I don't think I've actually tried this, so I'm going to hang on to this one for a little while longer before I decide to declutter it. This is a Healthy Glow bronzing face powder from e.l.f. Cosmetics, but this is a little bit too light for me, so I'm going to go ahead and pass that one along. This is one of their shimmering facial whips, which I definitely want to try, so I think I'll hang on to this one for a little while longer. I have two of the ColourPop highlighters, which I love. This one's in Electric Slide, and then this one is in the shade Fanny Pack, so I think I will keep both of these. They're really gorgeous, and I like to use them as highlighters or as eyeshadows. This one is a Tarte Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Angelic. They actually call it a blush, but let me swatch this one. This is a really gorgeous kind of subtle highlighter, so I think I will hang on to this one. And then this is a Tarte Cosmetics blush in the shade Stellar, but it's a little bit more of like a bronzy color. I think it's a little bit light for me. Yeah, it's kind of light. I don't know if you guys can see that swatch, so I think I will pass this one along. I have Sunbeam from Benefit. I'm going to hang on to this one and try it out during the spring or summertime. And then I have another one of these illuminators from the brand Cara. It kind of looked like it was separating, but I think you just have to mix it up. I definitely want to try these before I decide to declutter them. This is an e.l.f. blush in the shade, it's one of their baked blushes in the shade Pinktastic, and it kind of looks like a highlighter. They call it a blush, but I wasn't sure about this, but I saw somebody on Instagram wearing it the other day. This color is so gorgeous, so I definitely need to get more use out of this one. I have Benefit's Hula Bronzer, which is one of my favorite bronzers of all time. I get a lot of use out of this one. And then I have Bahama Mama. I almost said Hot Mama from the Balm. This one, I don't know, this looks kind of old. I feel like this is getting a little bit old. It's a really good bronzer. It's definitely one of my favorites, but it's a little dark for me and it's a little bit old, so I think I'm going to declutter this one. In the back, I just have two things. I have this IT Cosmetics Live, Love, Laugh Vitality Face Disc, which comes with a highlighter, a blush, and a bronzer. I think I will hang on to this one and try it out before I declutter it. And then this is the City Color Cosmetics Contour Effects Palette, but I don't really ever wear this, so I think I will pass this one along to somebody else too. So these are all of the bronzers and highlighters that I decluttered. I feel like I did a pretty good job. I got rid of more than I thought I would, honestly, but I feel like you don't really need a ton of bronzers. I think I still even have like more than I really need. As for highlighters, I'm sure I will be growing my highlighter collection because I have recently become obsessed with them, but I'm pretty happy with the size of my collection right now. I feel like it's not overly excessive, but I have choices, if you guys know what I mean. So I will be passing these along to family and friends, and I hope that they can get some use out of them. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you have a favorite bronzer or highlighter, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!